Russell Simmons was fucking Kimora Lee Simmons from 15, 16 years old. Listen, Bambaataa is still free. He's still running around. He's still doing what he does. They don't have to investigate it because guess what? They're from New York. They know. They know people who have been victims of Afrika Bambaataa and members of the Zulu Nation. He's been raping and molesting young black boys for 40 years. Or I don't want it to appear as if I am putting forth a concept, or I don't want it to appear as if I'm saying that homosexuals are child molesters and rapists, because that's not what I'm saying. I should have said that New York introduced child abuse and child molestation to hip hop. That's what I should have said. When you look at Russell Simmons with Kimora Lee, she 15, right? All this shit about he waited till she was legal to do it. No, he didn't. Russell Simmons was fucking Kimora Lee Simmons from 15, 16 years old, and everybody knew about it.
Why you think a lot of people turned the other cheek to that? Like, a lot of people knew
power, money. The same reason why people turned the other cheek to Afrika Bambaataa, because of the power and influence and what he meant to the overall hip hop culture. So when I say that New York introduced homosexuality to the world of hip hop, I didn't want to. So I should have said New York introduced raping and abusing innocent young lives to the world of hip hop, because some of the most prominent hip hop figures that ever existed, some of the biggest names in the world of hip hop from the origins of hip hop, are fucking child molesters and rapists.
You know what's crazy?
And sexual predators.
A lot of us knew that though. Mm-hmm. But they didn't say it like how you said it.
So watch this. New Yorkers always like to defend New York. They always like to brag about it being the cradle or the birthplace of hip hop. Okay, well, let's look at some of the most iconic figures in hip hop. From Afrika Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation, right?
Right.
Founder of the Zulu Nation. It is reported, and I'm not going to say allegedly, it is reported by very notable, powerful, and reputable people that he is responsible for raping and molesting hundreds, if not thousands, of young black and brown young men over the course of the last 30, 40 years, right? It took people like a Hassan Campbell to come out. Hassan Campbell is no notable figure in hip hop. He's made his mark as a YouTuber and as a podcaster, right? The things he said, and it's been verified to me by people who are in a position of power, but didn't want their names to be dropped, right? He's been raping and molesting young black boys for 40 years. Where is the Fat Joes? Where's the so-called black activists? Where's the KRS-Ones?
Why do you think nothing's been done about Afrika Bambaataa? Why is it still out here?
Where's the Jay-Z's? Where's the Nas's on this Bambaataa issue? Motherfuckers will make a public statement about all things hip-hop, but won't talk about that. Where's the Jay-Z's? Where's the Nas?
I think people are concerned about their bag. They're like, you know what? I'm going to just stay away from
what
that.
bag is Afrika Bambaataa stopping? Right? Where's the awareness, right? So you mean tell me you got a guy who's a staple, who's a founding father. If you created a Mount Rushmore of iconic hip-hop figures from the city of New York, Afrika Bambaataa and the Zulu Nation would have to be on that Mount Rushmore somewhere. Where's the Jay-Z's? Where's the Nas's? Where are the people who are supposed to be the biggest names in hip-hop who are New Yorkers? Where are they when it comes to weighing in on what the fuck Bambaataa did to all those young black boys?
What should they be doing? Should they be like trying to like investigate it or dive deep into it?
They don't have to investigate it because guess what? They're from New York. They know people who have been victims of Afrika Bambaataa and members of the Zulu Nation. They know artists who turned into superstars who were actually victims of Afrika Bambaataa and the whole Zulu Nation. So it was a massive cover-up. And they're still trying to cover it up right now because, listen, Bambaataa is still free. He's still running around. He's still doing what he does. So the whole thing is, New Yorkers, if y'all want to call out Atlanta, y'all want to call out L.A., y'all want to call out Miami, you want to call anybody, let's start with your own backyard first. Because when I said that New York is New York introduced homosexuality into hip-hop, I didn't really mean homosexuality in the base form. I should have said New York introduced, Puffy is a product of New York. Puffy was
just doing what he knew.
Yeah, Puffy's not a product of L.A., Hollywood. He ain't no Will Smith ass nigga. the perversion that he chose to be a part of, that perversion started with the Clive Davises. It started with the Andre Harrells. He was groomed to be the monster that he turned out to be.
Because nobody really talks about the Clive Davis and Diddy's relationship. Mm-hmm. Do you think that they was already just two homosexual men?
I think that he was groomed to be the savage. He was absolutely groomed to be that. And I'm not saying that he didn't have it in him. Right, I'm not saying that it wasn't part of his psychological makeup, but I'm saying that the people who were already firmly affixed in positions of power, they were into that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So whether he was drugged, kicking and screaming into that perverse shit, or whether he just openly accepted it, either way we don't know. Probably they'll never know. But whatever the case may be, the framework for him being a sexual predator and a monster ass nigga, that framework was set by the environment that he was operating in, primarily through Russell Simmons, fucking child molester. Clive Davis, fucking child molester. All them Lucian Grange type niggas, all the niggas is the most ridiculous, horrible niggas on the face of this planet.
It takes a distinct individual to possess the desire to defy the law. Such individuals must exhibit audacity, fearlessness regarding consequences, and the traits of calculated risk takers. They may be categorized as mere addicts, yet their addiction is to currency and adrenaline. What do they lust more? Some seek the mountains of dead presidents, while others yearn for the rush. These are not stories of glorification, but chronicles of redemption. Articulated in their own voices, these are the extraordinary accounts of individuals who will be eternally enshrined as crime gods.